These are the sounds that most of North Queensland has been hearing constantly for the past few weeks, with major flooding bringing the region to a standstill, with record heights cutting off roads and causing damage to private properties and businesses. In particular, the small town of Ingham in the Hinchinbrook Shire has felt the blow of this natural disaster. Deputy Mayor and the chair of the Hinchinbrook recovery process, Mary Brown, says that the devastation of major flooding in the area goes beyond inconveniencing commuters.
Depending on how big the flood is, depends on what economic impact it has to the community. This particular event, we're looking at, as what we've seen in our survey results, direct economic impact is probably upwards of $1 million. Indirect and ongoing, very hard to measure.
Mary says the flooding has also affected the primary source of income in the district, sugarcane, as the water has entered and damaged farmland.
Before the flood event, we were looking at a bumper crop of 5.3 million tonnes. Coming into the harvest, and now while the assessment's being done, haven't put a figure on it yet, but we know we're going to be looking at substantial crop losses. Very difficult at this point to say what they will be.
Mary also says that repairing the facilities within the community will be an extremely costly feat.
Direct impact on our infrastructure is upward of probably $10 million in this event. And again, that will be ongoing as we start to get into that higher level work and once that commences. And it grows across all aspects of the community. How do you measure the economic impact to someone who's lost their job and hasn't been able to work?
Business owner Gail Hinshin knows exactly how devastating losing even a few days of trade due to flooding can be.
During the most recent flood event of 2018, we were unable to open for 3 days during the first flood due to the town being cut in half by flooding of Cattle Creek, which dissects the town. I could not get to the shop. On the second occasion, I was unable to access Ingham because I live at Halifax and we were cut off due to flooded creeks and roads for 3 days.
Gail went on to say that it's not only the local council that feels the costly effects of not being able to function during flood events.
We are a small business and collectively between the two closures we lost in excess of $5,000 of direct revenue that we normally would have taken on those days. However, in addition to this direct lost revenue, we have seen a significant decrease in revenue in the time following each flood event.
Gail says this monetary loss continues even after the floods have ended, with business owners having to account for damage costs to their own private residences.
In addition, during the recovery stage, people don't have money to spend because they've lost income during the flood event and may need to replace lost household items and property due to flood damage.
Major flooding takes an extremely heavy toll on the Hinchinbrook Shire and the Ingham district. But with the flooding being such a common event this time of year, the citizens and councils certainly know how to bounce back, despite the costly consequences of flooding.